हेलो डियर लर्नर्स, दिस इज़ डॉक्टर संगीता चौधरी एंड आज की क्लास में मैं डिस्कस करूंगी अबाउट इन्फ्लेमेटरी मायोपैथी। तो चलो देखते हैं व्हाट इज़ इन्फ्लेमेटरी मायोपैथी। इन्फ्लेमेटरी मायोपैथी जो है, द नेम सजेस्ट दैट जो मसल है उसमें इन्फ्लेमेशन होगा, ओके, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ इन्फ्लेमेशन इट रिजल्ट्स इन मस्कुलर डिसऑर्डर which is known as inflammatory myopathy. Inflammatory myopathy जो है, it may include certain like diseases among which dermatomyositis है जिसको DM भी बोलते हैं in short, polymyositis जिसको PM बोलते हैं short में, immune mediated necrotizing myopathy IMNM, immune mediated necrotizing myopathy, anti-synthetase syndrome ASS, IBM inclusion body myositis. So ये जो 5 है, dermatomyositis, polymyositis, immune mediated necrotizing myopathy, anti-synthetase syndrome and inclusion body myositis, they constitute the spectrum of inflammatory myopathies. अगर एपिडेमियोलॉजी देखिए तो इंसिडेंस ऑफ इन्फ्लेमेटरी मायोपैथी ग्रुप्ड टुगेदर इट इज़ मोर देन 4 केसेस पर 1 लाख पॉपुलेशन। अगर हम क्लिनिकल फीचर्स के बारे में डिस्कस करते हैं अबाउट डिफरेंट इन्फ्लेमेटरी मायोपैथीज, और अगर हम लैब फीचर्स, मसल बायोप्सी वगैरह देखते हैं इन्फ्लेमेटरी मायोपैथीज का, तो वी कैन कंपाइल देम इन दिस फॉलोइंग चार्ट। और चार्ट फॉर्म में चलो देखते हैं व्हाट आर द फीचर्स ऑफ डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ मायोपैथी। DM फॉर dermatomyositis. Dermatomyositis में इट इज मोर कॉमन इन फीमेल देन मेल। एज ऑफ ऑनसेट यूजुअली चाइल्डहुड एंड एडल्ट में भी होता है। रैश इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर ऑफ dermatomyositis, ठीक है। पैटर्न ऑफ वीकनेस जो होता है दैट इज प्रॉक्सिमल more than distal, that means proximal muscles are more involved than the distal muscle. Lab features में there will be normal or increased creatinine kinase up to 50 times normal, or up to 50 times of the normal or higher. Various presence of various autoantibodies like anti-MDA5, anti-TIF1, anti-MI2, anti-NXP2. These are the lab features of dermatomyositis. अगर बायोप्सी करते हैं हम, मसल बायोप्सी लेके हिस्टोपैथोलॉजिकल स्टडी करते हैं, तो वहाँ पे क्या दिखाई देगा? देयर विल बी पेरीमाइसियल एंड पेरीवास्कुलर इन्फ्लेमेशन. पेरीमाइसियल मीन्स सराउंडिंग द myocard, surrounding the muscle fiber, and perivascular means surrounding the vessel. There will be inflammation. Interferon regulated proteins and membrane attack complex. Membrane attack complex, that is the terminal product of complement activation. So deposition of interferon regulated protein and membrane attack complex deposition रहता है on capillaries. There will be cellular infiltrate of CD4 positive dendritic cells. B cell infiltration, macrophage infiltration रहता है in the perimysial and perivascular area. Respond to therapy, yes, it responds to therapy well. Common associated condition may be myocarditis, inflammation of the myocardium, ILD माने interstitial lung disease, malignancy, vasculitis and other CTD माने connective tissue disease, okay, connective tissue disease. तो dermatomyositis जो है, it can be associated with myocarditis, interstitial lung disease, different malignancy, vasculitis and other connective tissue diseases. Polymyositis. Let's talk about polymyositis. Like dermatomyositis, polymyositis भी फीमेल में ज़्यादा है, ओके, एंड polymyositis यूजुअली चिल्ड्रन में नहीं होता है, इट इज़ इन एडल्टहुड. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम द सिम्टम्स आर सीन इन एडल्टहुड। रैश नहीं होता है। रैश एक्चुअली एज आई सेड, रैश जो है डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ रैश, दे आर वेरी मच स्पेसिफिक फॉर डर्मेटोमायोसाइटिस। यहाँ पे भी प्रॉक्सिमल मसल वीकनेस ज़्यादा रहता है कंपेयरिंग टू डिस्टल मसल। यहाँ पे CPK जो है इट इंक्रीजेस, ओके, क्रिएटिनिन काइनेज जो बहुत ज़्यादा इंक्रीज होता है। मसल बायोप्सी में देखिए तो एंडोमाइसियल एंड पेरीवास्कुलर इन्फ्लेमेशन रहता है। डर्मेटोमायोसाइटिस में पेरीमाइसियल था, ओके, और यहाँ पे है एंडोमाइसियल। Then there will be ubiquitous expression of MHC1 class 1. MHC stands for Major Histocompatibility Complex. Okay, तो Major Histocompatibility Complex 1 का expression रहता है यहाँ पे जो cellular infiltration होता है, they are mainly of CD8 positive T cells, macrophages and plasma cells. Whereas dermatomyositis में हम देखे थे there is presence of infiltration with CD4 positive cell, dendritic cells, B cells and macrophages. Response to therapy, yes, polymyositis it responds to therapy. यहाँ पे भी common associated condition में myocarditis हो सकता है, like interstitial lung disease हो सकता है and other connective tissue disease रहता है. Now, if we talk about necrotizing myositis, not so common. Okay, male-female ratio it is equal. Male और female में equally can occur equally in both male and female. Children में होता है या फिर adult में होता है. There is no rash again, and weakness is more in proximal group of muscle comparing to distal group of muscle. Elevated creatinine kinase. Creatinine kinase जो है it may be elevated by more than 10 times of the normal limit, और उससे भी ज़्यादा हो सकता है. For dermatomyositis and polymyositis we have seen that creatinine kinase may be raised even up to 50 times of the normal limit. Okay. In case of necrotizing myositis, the rise in creatinine kinase is a bit lesser than the dermatomyositis and polymyositis. It is usually more than 10 times of the normal or maybe higher than that. Anti-HMG-CR or anti-SRP antibodies will be present in case of necrotizing myositis. अगर हम बायोप्सी करेंगे, as the name suggests, यहाँ पे नेक्रोसिस होगा मसल फाइबर का. नेक्रोसिस रहेगा और इन्फ्लेमेटरी इन्फिल्ट्रेट जो है वो मिनिमल रहता है. There will be infiltration by macrophages in necrotic fibers and undergoing phagocytosis. Response to therapy, yes, it responds to therapy. Common associated condition में necrotizing myositis में malignancy हो सकता है. Then CTD may be associated, other CTD. CTD stands for again connective tissue diseases. HMG-CR antibody cases जो है that can be triggered by statin use. Means necrotizing myositis statin से भी हो सकता है, trigger हो सकता है. And in that cases, anti-HMG-CR antibody will be positive. Next group, anti-synthetase syndrome. यहाँ पे क्या होता है? That is also more common in female. Children and adult में देखा जाता है. Rash, sometimes the patient may have rash. Again, proximal muscle weakness is more than the distal group of muscle. Lab features में देखें तो creatinine kinase will be elevated, but not so much like dermatomyositis and polymyositis. Usually, the elevation is more than 10 times of the normal, or maybe a little higher than that. And as the name suggests, यहाँ पे एंटी सिंथेटेज एंटीबॉडी प्रेजेंट रहेगा. ठीक है. मसल बायोप्सी, अगर हम मसल बायोप्सी करते हैं तो हमें क्या फाइंडिंग मिलेगा? लाइक डर्मेटोमायोसाइटिस, यहाँ पे भी पेरीमाइसियल एंड पेरीवास्कुलर इन्फिल्ट्रेशन, इन्फ्लेमेशन रहेगा. पेरीमाइसियल फ्रेगमेंटेशन विथ अल्कलाइन फॉस्फेटेज स्टेनिंग रहेगा, इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर एंटीसिंथेटेज। पेरीमाइसियल मसल डैमेज विथ नेक्रोसिस भी रह सकता है। एंड देयर विल बी इन्फिल्ट्रेशन विथ CD4 dendritic cells, B cell and macrophages. The infiltration is just like dermatomyositis. So both in dermatomyositis and anti-synthetase syndrome में CD4 positive dendritic cell रहेगा, B cell and macrophage से infiltration होगा. Response to therapy, yes, it responds to treatment. Common associated condition में क्या क्या रह सकता है? There may be presence of non-erosive arthritis, ILD again, interstitial lung disease, Raynaud phenomena हो सकता है, mechanic hands हो सकता है, and fever may be associated. Raynaud's phenomena I have described in while describing the other connective tissue diseases. Raynaud's phenomena में क्या होगा? On exposure to cold, there will be color changes, appearance of color changes in the fingers. Initially paleness रहता है, that is followed by a bluish discoloration or cyanosis, जो कि followed by hyperemia या redness होता है. So PCR होगा in case of Raynaud's phenomenon. P for pale, C for cyanosis, okay. R for redness or hyperemia. So in this way we can remember the color change in case of Raynaud's phenomena. Pale, cyanosed and redness or hyperemic होगा. Now lastly IBM, that is inclusion body myositis. Inclusion body myositis में क्या रहता है? It is more common in male than female. अभी तक हम जितना भी inflammatory myopathies के बारे में describe किए, like dermatomyositis, polymyositis, necrotizing myopathy and anti-synthetase syndrome, सारे में फीमेल में इंसिडेंस ज़्यादा थे. लेकिन in case of inclusion body myositis, it is more common in males than female. एज ऑफ ऑनसेट कुछ स्पेसिफिक नहीं रहता है, ओके, रैश नहीं रहता है इसमें. एंड इफ यू लुक एट द पैटर्न ऑफ मसल इन्वॉल्वमेंट वीकनेस, proximal and distal दोनों ही इन्वॉल्व रहता है. There is predilection for fingers, wrist flexure and knee extensor. We need to remember that. यहाँ पे जो finger and wrist flexors होता है and knee extensors होता है, उनके लिए predilection होता है in case of inclusion body myositis. Lab features में हम देखें तो the creatinine kinase may be normal or mildly increase हो सकता है. The elevation of creatinine kinase is least in inclusion body myositis if we compare with the elevation of creatinine kinase in other inflammatory myopathies. यहाँ पे usually less than 10 times from the upper limit elevation रहता है creatinine kinase का. anti-CN1A antibodies present रहता है. यहाँ पे लार्ज ग्रैनुलर लिम्फोसाइट्स ऑन फ्लो साइटोमेट्री दिखाई देता है एंड रिड्यूस्ड CD4-CD8 रेशियो दिखाई देता है. ओके, मसल बायोप्सी में क्या होगा? मसल बायोप्सी में देखें तो हियर देयर विल बी एंडोमाइसियल एंड पेरिवास्कुलर इन्फ्लेमेशन एज लाइक वी हैव सीन इन पॉलीमायोसाइटिस. यहाँ पे एंडोमाइसियल एंड पेरिवास्कुलर इन्फ्लेमेशन होगा. And there will be ubiquitous expression of MHC1, that is major histocompatibility complex. Rimmed vacuoles रहेगा. Okay, these are the important findings in case of muscle biopsy from inclusion body myositis patient. Cellular infiltrate में देखें तो there will be infiltration with CD8 positive T cells, macrophage, plasma cell, myeloid dendritic cell, large granular lymphocytes. So ये सब inflammatory cell मिलेगा in case of inclusion body myositis. But sadly, inclusion body myositis, it do not respond to treatment, or even if the response is there, it will be very minimal. So no response or minimal response to therapy. अगर हम कॉमन एसोसिएटेड कंडीशन के बारे में देखें तो it may be associated with granular lymphocytic leukemia or lymphocytosis, sarcoidosis, Sika syndrome or Sjögren syndrome. So these are the common associated conditions with inclusion body myositis. So this is all about how we can differentiate or what are the characteristics of different type of inflammatory myopathies और कहाँ पे कैसा इन्वॉल्वमेंट होता है, क्रिएटिनिन काइनेस लेवल कैसा होता है, मसल बायोप्सी में क्या होता है, ओके, व्हाट आर द एसोसिएटेड कंडीशंस, ऑल वी केम टू नो फ्रॉम दिस टू चार्ट्स. नाउ अभी क्या करेंगे हम, अभी वी विल डिस्क्राइब अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट द important inflammatory myopathy. So first of all, let's discuss about the dermatomyositis. Okay, dermatomyositis. यहाँ पे characteristic rash होता है. Okay, how the dermatomyositis is identified? It is identified by presence of characteristic rash. यहाँ पे accompanying or more often प्रीसीडिंग मसल वीकनेस रहता है. मीन्स जब रैश होता है पेशेंट को तो मसल वीकनेस विल accompany द रैश और समटाइम्स इट मे अपीयर ओके प्रायर. एलिवेटेड सीरम एंजाइम्स derived from skeletal muscle, that means there will be elevation of CK. CK माने creatine kinase. So creatine kinase will be elevated, or it may be normal also, but if it is elevated, usually the level is more than 50 times of normal. Okay, so much rise in creatine kinase occur. Myopathic change मिलेगा, which will be demonstrable in case of if we do an EMG. What is EMG again? EMG means electromyography. Okay, so in EMG myopathic changes will be demonstrable. अगर हम मसल बायोप्सी करें तो उसमें एविडेंस ऑफ इन्फ्लेमेशन रहेगा. कैसा टाइप का इन्फ्लेमेशन? देयर विल बी पेरीमाइसियल एंड पेरीवास्कुलर इन्फ्लेमेशन. So these are the characteristic findings or features in case of dermatomyositis. Triggers. Actually dermatomyositis जो है it may be triggered by certain abnormalities. Usually the triggers are unknown, but sometimes क्या होता है कि जो dermatomyositis है it may develop following some viral infection. Okay, so viral infection may act as a important trigger for डेवलपमेंट ऑफ डर्मेटोमायोसाइटिस. क्लिनिकल फीचर्स में देखें हम तो डर्मेटोमायोसाइटिस जो है उसका ऑनसेट इंसिडियस होता है एंड इट डेवलप्स ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ 3 to 6 months. वीकनेस इनिशियली इट इन्वॉल्व्स द मसल ऑफ द शोल्डर एंड द pelvic girdle, with the later being slightly more common. That means जो pelvic girdle है उसका इन्वॉल्वमेंट शोल्डर गार्डल से ज़्यादा होता है. प्रॉक्सिमल होता है वीकनेस इनिशियली. ठीक है, इनिशियली द वीकनेस इज प्रॉक्सिमल, बट जैसे प्रोग्रेस होता है डिजीज देयर मे बी इन्वॉल्वमेंट ऑफ डिस्टल मसल ऑल्सो. डिस्टल वीकनेस इज अनकॉमन इनिशियली बट कैन डेवलप ओवर टाइम इन सीवियर केसेस. अदर देन दैट जो नेक फ्लेक्सर्स है उनका वीकनेस रहता है एंड इट इज कॉमन. Almost half of the patient में there is weakness of the neck flexor. Ocular muscles are virtually never involved. If there is involvement of ocular muscle, you can rule out inflammatory myopathy, right? So ocular muscles are virtually never involved. Just remember this point. This is very important. Okay. ये picture में we can see the involvement of pattern of involvement of the muscle. Initially, as I said, there will be involvement of the pelvic girdle and shoulder girdle muscle. Pelvic girdle muscle will be more involved than the shoulder girdle, and we see that initially the proximal group of muscle will be involved. Okay, proximal group शुरू में ज़्यादा involved रहता है, and later on the patient may develop distal muscle weakness also. If the disease progresses and it becomes severe, then in the late stages patient will develop weakness in the distal muscle group also. So this is about the pattern of muscle involvement in case of dermatomyositis. रैश, कैरेक्टरिस्टिकली यहाँ पे डिफरेंट टाइप का रैश रहता है इन डर्मेटोमाइसाइटिस विच वी डू नॉट सी इन अदर टाइप ऑफ inflammatory myopathy. So let's talk about few characteristic rashes which we may find in case of dermatomyositis. Heliotrope rash, what is it? ये जो heliotrope rash है ये eyelids में दिखाई देता है. Okay, there will be like a bluish or reddish kind of discoloration of eyelids, erythematous discoloration of eyelids, और उसके साथ साथ periorbital edema भी रहता है. Okay, this is known as heliotrope rash. जब मैं आपको पिक्चर दिखाऊंगा then you will understand. Gottron's sign, what is Gottron's sign? Gottron sign में क्या होता है, जो joints का extensor surface होता है, joints like for example knuckle, जैसे these are the extensor surfaces of knuckle के extensor surface, नहीं तो elbow के extensor surface में, नहीं तो knee या ankle में there will be presence of erythematous rash जिसको Gottron sign बोलते हैं. There is something known as Gottron papule. Gottron sign भी रहता है, Gottron papule भी रहता है. ये क्या है Gottron papule? They are raised erythematous rash over knuckles. जो knuckles रहता है, knuckles के ऊपर there will be raised rash, erythematous rash, जिसको Gottron papules बोलते हैं. What is V sign? V. Okay, what is V sign? It's like rash on the anterior neck and chest, as if it looks like a necklace. Okay, necklace shape erythematous rash on the sun exposed part of anterior neck and chest, इसलिए इसको V sign बोलते हैं. Shawl sign, what is shawl sign? Shawl sign we can see over the back of the neck and shoulders due to presence of erythematous rash. Next में I will show you some pictures, then it will be very clear and interesting to you all. यहाँ पे nail bed telangiectasia भी हो सकता है. What is telangiectasia? Telangiectasia is the dilatation of superficial vessel. Okay, तो nail bed जो है वहाँ पे telangiectasia हो सकता है patient को. So let's see some of the images of different type of rash in case of dermatomyositis. So this slide is about the cutaneous manifestation of dermatomyositis. Okay, in the picture A, okay, in the image A, you can see that there is macular erythematous papules, macular erythematous plaque you can see, and this is Gottron sign. So this picture is of Gottron sign. Okay, and erythematous papule भी देख सकते हैं. Oh, erythematous papules, small papules you can see, these are the papules. These erythematous papules are known as the Gottron plaque on extensor surfaces of fingers. And यहाँ पे नंबर B में elbow है, elbow के extensor surface में भी you can see some erythematous plaques and some papules you can see. So these are Gottron plaque. Macular erythematous plaque over the anterior chest. You can see that there is erythematous lesion on the anterior chest and this is known as the V sign. And in D यहाँ पे जो है shawl sign है. As I was telling, shawl sign में क्या होता है, यहाँ पे there will be erythematous rash. You can see this is the rash over the upper part of the back. Okay, तो यहाँ पे we can see the shawl sign in image D. In E you can see there is presence of periungual telangiectasia. Telangiectasia में there is dilatation of the superficial capillaries. So यहाँ पे हम nail bed में देख रहे हैं there is nail bed changes with dilated capillaries, that is telangiectasia at the nail bed. Now हम next picture देखें तो in this picture we can see that there is typical heliotrope discoloration of the eyelid. यहाँ पे eyelid में the erythematous discoloration you can see, and there is associated periorbital edema also. Okay, so this is about the heliotrope discoloration of the eyelids associated with periorbital edema. In the next image, this is an MRI image. Okay, यहाँ पे जो हम image देख रहे हैं, this is an skeletal muscle MRI with short T1 inversion recovery, that is STEER. STEER stands for short T1 inversion recovery. Okay, so this picture is basically taken from a patient of polymyositis. Okay, तो यहाँ पे हम देख सकते हैं this is a picture of or image of an MRI thigh जहाँ पे there is bright signal intensity. Okay, these are the areas of signal intensity you can see, and जो ये increased signal है that indicates there is inflammation at the site or maybe edema at the site. Okay, particularly it is involving the rectus femoris muscle. इनके साथ अगर हम कंपेयर करते हैं the MRI of an inclusion body myositis means MRI thigh of an inclusion body myositis, वहाँ पे हम देखें तो there is very much selective involvement of the vastus medialis and vastus lateralis with relative sparing of the rectus femoris. ठीक है, मीन्स जो polymyositis है PM polymyositis में usually rectus femoris involved रहता है, not vastus medialis और vastus lateralis. लेकिन जो IBM that is inclusion body myositis है वहाँ पे हम थाई का MRI करें then there will be involvement of vastus lateralis and vastus medialis. This is the difference between the pattern of involvement in case of polymyositis and inclusion body myositis. Association with malignancy. The most commonly associated malignancies are ovarian cancer, breast cancer, then melanoma, that is a malignant proliferation of the melanocytes, melanoma, colon cancer, and in the lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So ये जो सारे solid tumors है they are usually associated with dermatomyositis. Inclusion body myositis. Inclusion body myositis में clinical features क्या रहेगा? We have seen that inclusion body myositis जो ये इसका age predilection usually it is a disease of the elderly. Okay, as the age increases तब होता है inclusion body myositis, और यहाँ पे मेल फीमेल में कोई प्रिपोंडरेंस नहीं रहता है. Okay, and the clinical features में it has a slower progression rate, slowly progress होता है, insidious in onset and it is slowly progressive. Distal muscles are affected early, especially weakness of finger flexors, wrist flexors and knee extensors. ये हमको याद रखना है. There is a special predilection for muscles like finger flexure, wrist flexors and knee extensors. Affects men after age 50. So usually it occurs after the 50 years of age. And yes, sometimes it is more in men. Usually without collagen vascular or other autoimmune disorders. In बाकी polymyositis में हम देखें dermatomyositis or inclusion or polymyositis or necrotizing myositis and other types of myositis, usually some other connective tissue disease are associated. But in case of inclusion body myositis, यूजुअली बाकी कोई कनेक्टिव टिश्यू डिजीज का एसोसिएशन इज नॉट सो कॉमन, राइट. दिस इज अबाउट द clinical features of IBM or inclusion body myositis. If you look at the serum creatinine kinase level, in other inflammatory myopathies, other than inclusion body myositis, the creatinine kinase is usually elevated by more than 50 times of the normal value, okay, and in certain it is more than 10 times of the normal value. But in inclusion body myositis, it may remain normal or it may be elevated but less than, okay, usually less than 10 times of the normal value, okay, less than 10 times of normal. अगर हम मसल बायोप्सी करते हैं in inclusion body myositis, we will see predominantly T cell infiltrate around healthy muscle fibers. It differs from dermatomyositis by there is no vascular lesion or perivascular atrophy on biopsy. Less likely to be associated with malignancy. We have seen that जो dermatomyositis है, it can be associated with various different types of malignancy like breast cancer, ovarian cancer, colon cancer, melanoma. Okay, these are the malignancies which may be associated with dermatomyositis, but inclusion body myositis means usually there is less chance to be associated with malignancy, and in the biopsy there is usually no vascular lesion or perivascular atrophy. ठीक है. अगर हम ये different images देखते हैं, then we will see some typical findings which are suggestive of inclusion body myositis. For example, if you look at picture A, there is subtle weakness in the finger flexors for the ring finger and little finger. I hope you can appreciate. We have asked the patient to flex his fingers, okay, but in the left hand, if you look very carefully, there is weakness of the finger flexors of little finger and the ring finger, okay, which is like demonstrated by the arrow. Now in the next image in B, you can see there is a more weakness of the finger flexors if you compare with the image A. So A से B में ज़्यादा weakness है in the finger flexor. If you compare this with C, in C you can see there is severe weakness of the finger flexor. Okay, patient is not able to flex his finger, and there is you can see that there is flexion at the metacarpophalangeal joint. In D, if you look at D, you can appreciate there is atrophy of the ventral forearm. Okay, these are the regions of atrophy. You can really appreciate. There are atrophy in the forearm, ventral forearm. There is atrophy in the medial thigh. Bilaterally, you can appreciate it so much. There is atrophy. You can see that there is atrophy. There is atrophy of the vastus medialis, okay, which is there in the medial aspect of the thigh. Now lastly, if you look at the MRI images of the thigh, okay, the F, okay, in the picture image F, there is features of early inclusion body myositis with relatively preserved vastus medialis. Okay, in this case, the vastus medialis is there is relative preservation of the vastus medialis. लेकिन अगर if you look at the picture G, this is a case of advanced inclusion body myositis with marked fibrous replacements of the vastus medialis. If you compare with F and G, you can see that in F it is almost normal, but in G you can see that there is so much of fibrosis here. Okay, so much of fibrosis here in the vastus medialis. But here the vastus medialis is almost normal. Okay, so these are the pictures or images from a typical case of inclusion body myositis, where you can see that there is predilection for certain specific group of muscles like finger flexures, okay. Then in the forearm muscle you can see the atrophy. Then predilection for the vastus medialis, okay, that we can appreciate from these images. Polymyositis. Coming to the polymyositis, it's a heterogeneous group of disorders that usually presents with symmetrical and proximal muscle weakness. Okay, शुरू में यहाँ पे symmetrical and proximal muscle weakness रहता है that worsens over a period of several weeks to months. So there is progressive worsening in case of polymyositis, जहाँ पे शुरू में तो proximal muscle involved रहेगा, but later on the patient will develop distal muscle weakness as well. There may be associated heart, lung and joint involvement. Heart involvement in the form of myocarditis, involvement of lung in the form of interstitial lung disease, and joint involvement, there may be presence of arthritis, as well as यहाँ पे भी increased risk of malignancy रहता है. It may be associated with malignancy, the polymyositis. जैसे कि हमने देखा कि dermatomyositis में different solid malignancy may be associated. Same in polymyositis also, there may be association with malignancy. Okay, about few words about immune mediated necrotizing myopathy. NM means necrotizing myopathy. I am for immune mediated. What is the characteristics of it? It is characterized by acute or insidious onset of symmetric proximal more than distal weakness. Just like polymyositis, there will be symmetric involvement and it will be proximal muscle involvement more than the distal weakness. और क्या क्या complaint रह सकता है patient को? The patient may have dysphagia, that is difficulty in swallowing. The patient may have dysarthria, that is problem in articulation. Patient को myalgia हो सकता है. Myalgia means muscle में pain होगा. Underlying CTD, that is underlying connective tissue disease रह सकता है patient को. But specifically there may be associated scleroderma, नहीं तो MCTD. MCTD means there is mixed CTD, माने mixed connective tissue disease रहता है, associated in case of immune mediated necrotizing myopathy. Cancer भी हो सकता है in the associated features. Paraneoplastic necrotizing myopathy होता है in case of different type of cancer. Or it may be idiopathic also. जो immune mediated necrotizing myopathy है, it may be associated with the all of the following, all of the above mentioned features. ASS or anti-synthetase syndrome. यहाँ पे भी muscle inflammation होता है, myositis. It may be associated with non-erosive arthritis. Okay, means it may be associated with joint involvement, lung involvement in the form of interstitial lung disease. Raynaud's phenomena रह सकता है. Then mechanic hands. Mechanic hands हो सकता है patient में. Patient में have fever. Okay, and यहाँ पे जो है नाम से we can know that there will be presence of anti-synthetase antibody associated with antibodies against amino-acyl tRNA synthetase. Anti-synthetase antibody against amino-acyl tRNA. This is about anti-synthetase syndrome. Now, overlap syndrome क्या है? Overlap माने there will be overlap of features of different type of myopathy. When dermatomyositis, DM for dermatomyositis, PM for polymyositis, when dermatomyositis or polymyositis is associated with other well-defined connective tissue diseases, उसको बोलेंगे overlap syndrome. Like scleroderma may be associated, mixed connective tissue disease may be associated, Sjogren's syndrome, SLE or systemic lupus erythematosus, rheumatoid arthritis or RA. If these connective tissue diseases are associated with features of dermatomyositis or else polymyositis, we will call them as having overlap syndrome. Investigations में हम क्या क्या करेंगे? As I have described, if we are suspecting a case to be a case of inflammatory myopathy, then हमको muscle enzyme like creatine kinase का estimation करना है. We need to see if it is normal or not, or if it is elevated, how much is the level of elevation. Autoantibodies we need to search for. We have described about different autoantibodies and different type of myositis. EMG माने इलेक्ट्रोमायोग्राफी करना है. And the gold standard depends on the diagnosis. Gold standard diagnosis depends on muscle biopsy. Muscle biopsy, we will take biopsy sample, we will do histopathological analysis, और histopathological analysis में हमको typical findings रहेगा, typical findings मिलेगा like perimycel inflammation, endomycel inflammation, perivascular inflammation, okay, and there may be presence of different type of inflammatory cells depending on the type of myopathy. Other investigation will depend on the extramuscular involvement. Okay, suppose patient को we are suspecting the patient to have some kind of malignancy, then we need to evaluate for that for type of malignancy. अगर हमको लग रहा है कि patient को other connective tissue disorder associated है, या फिर interstitial lung disease associated है, या फिर myocarditis है patient को, so depending on the involvement, extramuscular involvement, we are going to investigate the patient depending on the patient's presentation. Treatment, coming to the last part, that is the treatment of inflammatory myopathy. कैसे हम treat करेंगे? First line drug जो है उसमें है glucocorticoid. If the patient is not responding to glucocorticoid, or if the patient is intolerant to glucocorticoid, or glucocorticoid contraindicated in the patient, in those particular situations हम second line treatment use करेंगे like other immunosuppressive other than glucocorticoids, or we may even use intravenous immunoglobulin. Intravenous immunoglobulin हम use करेंगे. Now coming to the immunotherapies for inflammatory myositis, हम कौन कौन से drug use कर सकते हैं, at what dose we may use. First of all, I said हमारा जो first line drug है that is glucocorticoid, तो we may use prednisone orally at a dose of 0.75 to 1.5 milligram per kg per day we may use to start with. Glucocorticoids का side effect क्या क्या हो सकता है? There may be hypertension, fluid and weight gain, fluid retention, weight gain, hyperglycemia, इन्फेक्शन हो सकता है, हाइपोकैलेमिया हो सकता है, कैटरैक्ट हो सकता है, गैस्ट्रिक इरिटेशन हो सकता है, ऑस्टियोपोरोसिस हो सकता है, ओके, फिमोरल नेक्रोसिस हो सकता है, वैस्कुलर फिमोरल नेक्रोसिस. दीज आर सर्टेन कॉमन एज वेल एज सीरियस साइड इफेक्ट्स ऑफ कॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉइड्स व्हिच वी नीड टू बी केयरफुल ऑफ. मिथाइलप्रेडनिसोलोन हम दे सकते हैं एज इंट्रावेनस इन्फ्यूजन. पल्स थेरेपी जैसा हम दे सकते हैं मिथाइलप्रेडनिसोलोन, दैट इज हाई डोज मीन्स 1 ग्राम इन 100 ml नॉर्मल सलाइन ओवर 1 to 2 hours हम दे सकते हैं. डेली दे सकते हैं और एवरी अदर डे फॉर 3 to 6 doses. यहाँ पे हमको ध्यान रखना है अबाउट डेवलपमेंट ऑफ एरिथमियाज, फ्लशिंग, डिस्ग्वेशिया, एंजाइटी, इंसोम्निया, फ्लूइड रिटेंशन, वेट गेन, hyperglycemia, hypokalemia and infection. These are the things we need to be careful about. Other than that, in the second line we have other immunosuppressive agent. For example, we have azathioprine, methotrexate, cyclophosphamide. Azathioprine जो है, azathioprine we may use orally 2 to 3 milligram per kg per day dose. Okay, single dose देते हैं usually, single morning dose. What are the side effects of azathioprine? There may be flu-like illness. With azathioprine, there may be hepatotoxicity, there may be pancreatitis or leukopenia, there may be macrocytosis, neoplasia may occur, okay, new onset cancer may occur, infection and teratogenesis. It's a teratogenic drug we cannot use in pregnant lady. मिथोट्रेक्सेट हम ओरल नहीं तो सबक्यूटेनियस दे सकते हैं. इफ यू गिविंग ओरल द डोज इज 7.5 to 20 मिलीग्राम वीकली. ओके, अगर हम सबक्यूटेनियस दे रहे हैं तो वी विल यूज 20 to 50 मिलीग्राम वीकली. व्हाट आर द टॉक्सिसिटी? मिथोट्रेक्सेट का भी कुछ सीरियस टॉक्सिसिटीज है जो वी शुड be careful about and we should monitor in a patient who is on methotrexate. क्या क्या साइड इफेक्ट्स हो सकता है? देयर मे बी हेपाटोटॉक्सिसिटी, देयर मे बी पल्मोनरी फाइब्रोसिस, इन्फेक्शन, नियोप्लाजिया, इनफर्टिलिटी हो सकता है, ल्यूकोपीनिया हो सकता है पेशेंट को, एलोपेजिया, gastric irritation, stomatitis and teratogenicity. Okay, so these are the side effects which may occur with in methotrexate therapy. साइक्लोफॉस्फेमाइड हम ओरली दे सकते हैं, नहीं तो इंट्रावेनस फॉर्म में भी दे सकते हैं. द डोज इज 1.5 to 2 मिलीग्राम पर kg पर डे. सिंगल मॉर्निंग डोज दे सकते हैं, नहीं तो वी मे यूज cyclophosphamide in the form of pulse therapy also. High dose cyclophosphamide, that is 0.5 to 1 gram per meter square of body surface area per month, we may use for 6 to 12 months. Okay, and the side effects of cyclophosphamides are bone marrow suppression, infertility, hemorrhagic cystitis, okay, alopecia, infection, neoplasia, teratogenicity. Just to mention that cyclophosphamide causes hemorrhagic type of urinary bladder inflammation, but it is preventable. We may prevent hemorrhagic cystitis which is associated with cyclophosphamide by giving injection of Mesna. So Mesna is a compound which may be used prior to the cyclophosphamide therapy. एंड ऑल्सो जब हम साइक्लोफॉस्फेमाइड पेशेंट को इन्फ्यूज कर रहे हैं दैट टाइम एट रेगुलर इंटरवल हम मेसना इंजेक्ट कर सकते हैं पेशेंट को. दैट विल हेल्प इन प्रिवेंशन ऑफ ड्रेडेड कॉम्प्लिकेशंस लाइक हेमोरेजिक सिस्टाइटिस. ओके, इंजेक्शन मेसना फॉर हेमोरेजिक सिस्टाइटिस. अभी साइक्लोस्पोरिन देखिए. साइक्लोस्पोरिन एंड टेक्रोलिमस, दे आर द कैल्सिन्यूरिन इनहिबिटर्स. कैल्सिन्यूरिन इनहिबिटर्स, कैल्सिन्यूरिन इनहिबिटर्स हम यूज कर सकते हैं ओरली. फॉर साइक्लोस्पोरिन 4 to 6 मिलीग्राम पर kg पर डे एंड फॉर टेक्रोलिमस 0.1 to 0.2 मिलीग्राम पर kg पर डे हम यूज कर सकते हैं. साइड इफेक्ट प्रोफाइल फॉर बोथ ऑफ देम आर लाइक सेम. नेफ्रोटॉक्सिसिटी, हाइपरटेंशन, इन्फेक्शन, हेपाटोटॉक्सिसिटी, हिर्सुटिज्म, tremor, gum hyperplasia and teratogenicity. Okay, almost same for both of the drugs, cyclosporin and tacrolimus. हम अगर mycophenolate mofetil यूज करते हैं then we use it orally. Adult में 1 gram twice daily to 1.5 gram twice daily दे सकते हैं और children में 600 milligram per meter square per dose हम दे सकते हैं twice daily. Side effects like bone marrow suppression, hypertension, tremor, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, headache, sinusitis, confusion, amblyopia, cough, infection, teratogenicity, neoplasia. These things may happen with mycophenolate mofetil, and since it causes bone marrow suppression, हमको monitor करना है patient को with periodic blood count. IV immunoglobulin, intravenous देना है immunoglobulin 2 gram per kg over 2 to 5 days we can use, and that can be followed by 1 gram per kg every 4 to 8 weeks as needed. Intravenous immunoglobulin जो है इससे भी patient को hypotension, arrhythmias, then sweating, flushing, नेफ्रोटॉक्सिसिटी, हेडेक, एसेप्टिक मेनिंजाइटिस, एनाफाइलेक्सिस स्ट्रोक ये सब हो सकता है. वी नीड टू मॉनिटर फॉर एरिथमियाज, डेवलपमेंट ऑफ एरिथमियाज, हार्ट रेट मॉनिटर करना है, ब्लड प्रेशर, देन किडनी फंक्शन टेस्ट मॉनिटर करना है. रिटुक्सिमाब ऑल्सो वी मे यूज, इंट्रावेनस देना होता है रिटुक्सिमाब. इट इज अ मोनोक्लोनल एंटीबॉडी अगेंस्ट CD820 which is present over the B lymphocyte. A course is typically 750 milligram per meter square up to 1 gram we can give, and repeated in 2 weeks courses, and then repeated usually every 6 to 8 months. यहाँ पे भी इन्फ्यूशन रिलेटेड रिएक्शन हो सकता है एज पर लाइक इंट्रावेनस इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन, पेशेंट को एरिथमिया, हाइपोटेंशन, डायफोरेसिस, फ्लशिंग, ये सब हो सकता है बिकॉज ऑफ इन्फ्यूजन. ओके, अदर देन दैट इन्फेक्शन हो सकता है. एंड वन इम्पॉर्टेंट साइड इफेक्ट ऑफ रिटुक्सिमाब इज PML, दैट इज प्रोग्रेसिव मल्टीफोकल leukoencephalopathy. Okay. Some they prefer to check B cell count prior to subsequent courses, but this may not be warranted. This is not actually necessary, but some prefer to check it. It depends on the clinician's judgment. जो इंट्रावेनस इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन है, ओके, कब देना है पेशेंट को? इफ द पेशेंट्स आर रिफ्रैक्टरी टू प्रेडनिसोन, ओके, अगर ग्लूकोकॉर्टिकोइड से रिफ्रैक्टरी है पेशेंट एंड एटलीस्ट वन सेकेंड लाइन इम्यूनोसप्रेसिव एजेंट से रिफ्रैक्टरी है, then we will go for intravenous immunoglobulin. But means patient is not responding with corticosteroid plus one of the second line immunosuppressive agent, then we will go ahead with intravenous immunoglobulin therapy. Okay, and monotherapy भी हम use कर सकते हैं intravenous immunoglobulin का, and that should be used in anti-HMG-CR myopathy, which can be induced by use of statins. Okay, dose of 2 gram per kg is divided over 2 to 5 days and repeat infusions given at monthly interval for at least 3 months. Okay, so 3 महीना तक IV immunoglobulin देना है every monthly interval after the initial continuous infusion of 2 to 5 days. Subsequently, depending on the patient response, जो interval है immunoglobulin का that may be lengthened, और जो dose है वो हम reduce कर सकते हैं. So this is about the second line therapy, that is immunoglobulin therapy or like therapy with other immunosuppressive drugs other than glucocorticoids. So this is all about the inflammatory myopathy जो मैं डिस्कस करना चाहती थी इस क्लास में. Thank you so much.